Welcome to Life in Scyllaville. This is Scylla, and this is one of my houses. It's about a 1950 house that I inherited, and I'm in the process of renovating the inside. But I also need to do work to the outside, and this is the current condition of the back of the house. In the backyard is a cinder block shed that we've had in the family for years. So here are 5 changes that I did to the exterior of the house that made a major change and transformed the exterior of this house to the point where people in the neighborhood were highly impressed. Transformation number 1 is basically trying to cover up some brick that were actually concreted into the ground. Not sure why my uncle did this, but it is what it is, and I wanted to cover it up along with some of the piping that's coming out of the house. So landscaping around this area was definitely needed. I decided to do something new. Instead of using landscape paper or landscape felt, I had extra Amazon boxes left over and decided to use that. And to be honest with you, this has lasted for over a year and it works way better than any landscape paper that I've ever used. The gravel wasn't too bad, but I decided to get something a lot more sturdier and decided to go ahead and lay down some concrete for an actual sidewalk. This made a huge difference in the overall look of the backside from that alone. Transformation number 2 pertains to finding a way to beautify covering over the pump house to protect it from the elements and from freezing. And it just was an eyesore for a very long time. So I decided to cover it up with some board and batten and then put my little garden there. Transformation number 3 was for the handrails. The existing handrails with wood, and although they were sturdy, you couldn't really get a good grasp of it at the top. So I decided to cover them in vinyl, more accessible handrail on it and railings. And I think it turned out great. Transformation number 4, I think, had the most attention from my neighbors. Again, this building is a cinder block building, and over the years it's been there, like I said, for I think as long as the house has been there. But I do remember in 1989, the roof got blown off by Hurricane Hugo. The roof was repaired and a new one was put back on, but again, nothing was done to the building. And so when I got back, I decided to put some black vinyl trim around the entrance into the building, and then I decided to paint it gray and then stain the top. And it made a world of difference. And it looked so good that I just couldn't leave it by itself. So I had to do some landscaping, and I decided to opt for some crushed stone. And it works really well, especially when the pecans start to fall. I can find them better. Transformation number 5 is my driveway. There wasn't much really there, and over the years, the existing driveway was crumbling away, and then pieces were just being thrown and tossed away. So I decided to put something a little bit more sturdier that would last a little longer. And so I had this concrete driveway installed, and it looks a lot better. I had to include some bonus transformation, and this goes towards the landscaping of the front of the house. Because of the summer sun and no maintenance being done to the lawn, I had a lot of bare, patchy areas. So I decided to do something about it. I planted some seeds. Some of that worked, but not too much. But what worked the best was actually transplanting plots of grass from areas that were either in the back of the house or not in the area that I needed. And I just moved it to the front, and it caught on really well. And that transformation has been great. It's nice and plush now, and I really like it a lot. Same thing goes for the other side. This side, actually, when I first started, was very mossy, and I decided that I wanted to take it all up and really put some sort of planters around the house. And first thing that I did was just put some landscape paper down, and I put straw that I got from a pine tree in my backyard. I just hauled it up to the front. And at first it worked great. I really liked it and enjoyed it. But over time, it began to become very flat and dry looking. And I no longer liked the way it looked, so I had to go for option number 2, which was mulch. I had a edger that I decided to utilize and create a nice fine line. I knew that I wanted the look to be more manicured, so I created a little trench and had it so that the mulch fell into the trench, and it's growing up really nice around the grass, and it looks really good. Which one do you like most? The mulch or the straw? So here's a final look of the overall house. It's come a long way, and I like the direction that it's going in. And again, this is a house that's been in my family since the 1950s. And a lot of my cousins will say that it's nice that the architect inherited the family house. This is actually what the house looked like when my grandparents ordered it out of Sears and Roebuck. I actually found the original design, and I'm holding on to it. And this is actually me and some of my aunts and uncles, but that's me right there, the little future architect. And I am so happy and blessed to be able to do something with my family house here in South Carolina. Thanks for watching.